Web3 is so much about the culture, and it's about like you bring people around like a joint mission.
Yeah.
And so I think one of the best ways to sort of understand the mission and what people are trying to build is like actually just allowing people to experience that.
Yeah.
And so bringing them into like a crypto native conference, like a decentralized conference, like Consensus is probably one of the best ways to sell, right?
Yeah, totally.
Like be a part of it. From Web 2 and Web 3, did you need to make sure that, you know, essentially everyone you employed was on chain? Is that a requirement or not?
Yes and no. So there's still some parts of the business that are very Web 2. So like the sales function to some degree, that's just a sales role. So like that doesn't really have a genre, if you want to call it that. But on the development side of things, there were like very heavy blockchain developers, but then equally we split it to like the ad platform and the blockchain platform. So that, and then also I was like, okay, if we get too many people that have come from ad tech, they'll want to build it like other ad tech products in the past. And if you get too many people from blockchain, it won't look enough like an ad tech product for it to find product market fit. So that is an ongoing balance.
2.5
It's like sometimes it feels a bit schizophrenic, you know, like so I wear my ad tech hat for the day and then I wear my blockchain hat for the day, and they are very different, even just with the way that we speak to potential users. Like we have kind of three users. You have like people that buy ads, people that sell ads, and then people that support the network. So that has been like, we've got 1,200 validators on the network.
Yeah.
We want advertisers to become validators. We want our media owners to become validators as well. But some media owners, like we work with News UK, they still print a newspaper. Talking to them about validators can be quite challenging. Yeah. Advertisers and media agencies, some of them lean into it more. So like we do a lot of work with publicists. They've got a huge Web3 team. Like they're now the biggest media agency in the world and are looking at Web3. I think they've got their head of blockchain was at Consensus this year. Nice. So like they'd identified that as an event that made sense for them. And that was really cool for us to see one of our partners being at a blockchain event, because IPG weren't there and Omnicom weren't there, but Web3 is big. It's going to become bigger. So it was cool that a massive company like Publicis were like, we're in a blockchain event.
Yeah, that's awesome. Katie Hudson from Publicis too.
That's right. Yeah. Katie Hudson and Chris Outram. Yeah.
Yeah, we've just done a little shout out.
Yeah. And I think blockchain conferences are quite unique because like ad tech conferences, it's all B2B. People are there because they work in the sector. But I think blockchain is a bit more, it's like B2C and B2B. Like you get people that are there just because they love crypto and they don't know many people that do, and they can go to that conference and just speak to people about blockchain. So I think it's like a slightly different makeup of people that attend those events, which can make it difficult to like prove how valuable those events are. And I think we were talking about this earlier, like how do you think about that? How do you talk to your portfolio companies about that on like, are the events valuable? How valuable are they? Yeah. And why should they approach them?
Yeah. No, we were just saying earlier that with my Web 2 hat on, when I was in Web 2 VC for 3 years, I was a bit like, you know, events are nice to have, or conferences in a way. Like you have SaaSta around SaaS and in Barcelona, and obviously Slush, which is still kind of a big one for fundraising for funds. But I was a bit skeptical when I came into Web 3, and I was like, what? Like all these founders are just touring the world on like road trips, like meeting up all over. Surely they should just be heads down building. And then I guess when I started actually doing the same and spent the last 2 years also doing all of the conferences, I completely misjudged. Now I think that conferences in general, if you're thinking about like what you want to get out of it and you're going into the conference intentionally, most of my network who I've met who like forge partnerships or open doors for portfolio companies, like the space is still so small, so it really is who you know. And one of the best ways to build relationships and rapport with people is in real life.
Totally agree.
And you can't really replace that, like body language and telling them a little bit about you personally. and them seeing you in flesh, I think you might as well have 20 Zoom calls for the same ROI as like just meeting that person for a coffee for half an hour.
Yeah.
So I actually think it's a great way if you know your network's going there and you know it's like hits the criteria of like, so your customers are going to be there. I think go.